Thomas, they need to rekindle that. He has maintained his entire crew. Blake Alexander across the drag strip. Jim Head, of course, owning the car, tuning the car. Pronto Auto Service Centers, their sponsor. Career record favors J.R. Todd. Todd out of the blocks first, and he saw the white smoke come up early for Blake Alexander, and he is able to coast to a funny car first round victory, 420.
Well, Blake was a little under the weather over the course of the weekend, and that may have had an effect on the starting line. If you were able to see inside of his car, you can see that little shiny reflective thing. The driver was bumping in that car into pre-stage and stage with the handbrake. And right here, Blake Alexander is probably not seeing the best thing he wanted to see. He sees that DHL car lose traction right at about the 8th mile. It appeared that it was just going to set sail for that finish line, and it was at that point when the clutch wants to go 1-to-1 is typically at about 3 seconds. Sometimes sooner if the conditions are really good, sometimes a little later if the tuner wants to slip the clutch when that track is a little marginal. We've seen some good runs, but for this DHL machine, a loss of traction. However, they did advance into the next round.
J.R. Todd going to get a look at the time slip there. And, you know, Tony, there's an old expression, age before beauty. Except we didn't follow it here because we got the two oldest guys in the field. They run last. John Force and Cruz Pedregon, who for the 38th time are meeting in the first round. Overall, they've raced each other an enormous number of times. This is the 122nd time they've competed side by side.
Look, people pay good money to see this matchup right here. And it all started back in 1992 when Cruz was driving for Larry Miner with the McDonald's sponsorship, big program, and John Force, of course, with Castro for all those years. Cruz, first year as a rookie, and ran the table at the end of the year. John Force has never been able to forget that, but make no mistake about it, they always put on a good show for these fans.
It is the peak, antifreeze, and coolant Chevrolet Camaro for John Force, and it is the Snap-on Tools car for Cruz Pedregon. Jason Bunker and Johnny West are the crew chiefs on this car for Cruz this season. It has been a change. That has been new blood brought in. They qualified number 8.
Yeah, this is a big rivalry, not just between the drivers. This is Chevy against Dodge. Two companies competing against one another. You look at this Dodge right here, it's a Hellcat. You may say, well, that's not off the showroom floor. No, but it is engineered. It is wind tunneled by Dodge engineers, just like it is with the Chevy Camaro and GM.
Showdown there, John Force, 426, 225 miles an hour, a battle of attrition as Pedregon goes 434 at 213. John Force, the first guy to win out of the left side of the racetrack this round, and he left a set of train tracks for us to look at all the way down.
It was a close race to the 8th mile. Both cars did something similar. They lost traction, a lot like J.R. Todd, maybe a little farther down, but take a look. Both drivers are staged. They're going to get off the line. It's pretty close. That block you see in the middle of the racetrack. See that raw fuel coming out of the pipes. Right before that is where the cars start to slip. You can see that black track that the tires leave. That is the footprint. That's the fingerprint. That tells us the car is slipping the tires. You can see who does it first, almost identically, and it's John Force getting back on the throttle. They both let the car settle down. There's a reason that Cruz wasn't able to catch up and maintain that lead. You can see as he gets back in the throttle, off the throttle, he doesn't see John Force. He knows he has a chance. He's going to ease back, open those throttle blades. And as he does that, you're going to see a backfire. And at that point, the engine just goes silent.
We take a look here, the tracks that the two cars left as neither of them were fully hooked up for the entire 1,000-foot distance of the drag race. And as you can see there at the top end, that smoke indicating what Tony was talking about, the engine giving up the ghost. Tony, it's perfect. In the second round, young Austin Prock will try to snatch the stones out of the hand of the master, John Force.
Oh, Austin, it's been a long time, but you're going to feel a little bit of guilt. And don't look at him. Don't feel bad for him if he beats you.
Caps and Todd, another one to pay big attention to in round 2. Now let's go to the top end and Amanda.
Austin Prock was just laughing with this team. I got way close to the wall right there, but I wasn't lifting. We talked last night in the pits about pedaling in a funny car and what you were hoping to learn. How do they compare from one ride to the other?
You just got to be calm. I stayed in it a little bit too long there. I let it rattle too long, but just rookie move, just learning. You know, you don't get very many opportunities to learn that, and that was my first one attempting it. So we got the job done. This is a team sport, and as a team, we got that round win. I'm looking forward to the second round. Hopefully I can race my boss and get this Cornwell Tools car another win.
When we come back, it'll be time to go pro stock drag racing live here at the Gatornationals. Matt